you had an idea, or we kind of both came up with the idea for a brand new segment. It may not lead to more segments, but it was too cool not to actually expound upon. So we're gonna call this one "Bitter Beer Face."
Yeah, good old Joe Maddon taken to the airwaves, and we got to bitter beer face because I said, "Oh, is Joe Maddon our asshole of the week?" Because he made some. He just really he can't let go of the idea that he was released from his job, even though at the time it was everyone was hugs and kisses, and that the Cubs moved on after what was that, about 4 straight years of not going as deep as they should have in the playoffs or in even in the
Maybe
regular season.
three, but yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
three. Yeah,
underachievement.
underachievement. So they felt it was time to, you know, stir the echoes, as one might say, shake things up, and Joe just obviously is not over it.
Yeah, he has not come to terms with that or being let go by the Los Angeles Angels, which is
Probably that's
far.
merciful.
Well, yeah, he should probably be happy about that, but that was far more egregious what they did to him. But he's written a book subsequently. But the Book of Joe of all things.
Mm,
But he's sounding more angry and bitter every time you hear him interviewed. He went on the Score this week, and like you said, he brought up the idea of he was let go, that team was broken up too early. And
yep.
he said there was more chicken on the bone, which I've never heard that phrase. I
Yeah.
heard meat on the bone before. I never heard chicken on the bone. So I don't know if that's a anti-red meat statement by Joe or something. I'm not sure what that comes from, but the idea that that team shouldn't have been broken up, maybe beyond him being let go or not, his contract not being renewed, that might be a little bit different story. But I think the idea that there was more there has been run into the ground. I think people notice and know that it ran its course. Whether it's his voice was the issue, his antics got old, whatever it was. I think it was kind of a mutual understanding, and it seemed like he had that understanding at the time that it was time to part ways. But subsequently he sounds more bitter about it every time. So I thought we just, instead of calling him an asshole, which I don't think he is by any means, we just come up with a new segment, bitter beer face. Maybe we find somebody every week or so that is just bitter about something that just shouldn't be. But of course, bitter beer face for you kids out there. I'm not sure if everyone understands the reference.
Ah, yes, Keystone Light.
Yeah, it's a mid '90s advertising campaign by one of the worst beers ever created, Keystone Light. They were saying drink Keystone Light so you avoid bitter beer face. And I think now that I look back on that, I didn't really think much of it. But if you think about it, the mid '90s are kind of when the craft brewing revolution was happening. So I think that commercial may have been a reaction against IPAs and other bitter beers.
Right.
Uh, and I think Keystone Light has lost that war, like by an insurmountable level. So
Um,
sorry for you guys.
yeah, remember they had another quick little note here, quick little gimmick. They had the plastic line can.
Now, isn't that kind of what all cans are now? That's why there's, I don't know if it's plastic, but there's a can liner. That's why beer and there was
Cans
always an
taste so
aluminum
great. Yeah,
taste
right.
until like the last 15 years.
Well, they may have been the pioneers of
Maybe
that.
they pioneered this. So maybe we should give
Yeah,
more credit to Keystone
yeah.
Light than we
That
are.
was part of the reason you didn't have bitter beer face. It's because of the lining in the can.
Yeah, I was done with tasting aluminum. Yeah, I mean, for years I only drank out of bottles, but now there's no issues with cans. So thank you,
Yeah.
Keystone Light. So
Yeah, thank you, Keystone Light. I mean,
they
and the
fixed.
reason there was no bitter beer face is because it was just water anyway. But
Yeah, exactly.
Word Hole Media.